Welcome to the Lee Schools TV podcast. I'm Rob Spicker, Assistant Director in the Communications Department and your host for our conversation. One of the school district's priorities is to increase teacher retention and recruitment. There is a shortage of teachers not just locally but nationally, and the school district is determined to put a quality educator into every classroom. We're going to talk about careers today, and to kick off our conversation, I have one of our newer teachers with us from Heights Elementary, Madison. Franz, thanks for joining us.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
I'm going to ask just this real broad question to start us off about why do you teach? What is it that makes you a teacher?
I love that. I've always loved children, and more than that, I've always wanted to be part of something that was bigger than myself. And when I look at our students, I see so much potential. I see the ways that they're already impacting the world and all of the ways that I can keep pouring into them and making them who they're meant to be.
So you just said you always wanted to be a teacher. What was it? Was there something early on? Was it a classroom experience? What lit that spark?
I don't really know. My mom says she remembers me even as young as like 3 or 4, lining up my pets and my stuffed animals and trying to teach them. Obviously, that didn't go very well with my pets. But I would say the biggest experience for me was when I started interning in a kindergarten classroom. I actually wanted to go a lot older in terms of grade levels, but when I was in kindergarten, I fell in love with the primary grades, and I actually switched my major to early childhood education after that because I was so inspired.
There was a little bit of inspiration there. We were talking a little bit earlier, you went to FGCU, so you got started as an intern teaching, and so you're now kind of in your third year. Just describe that real quick.
Yes, so I actually started teaching right after the hurricane. I had the opportunity to start as a full-time classroom teacher instead of taking my final internship. So it was an exciting opportunity. I applied and I really started, I think, the next week. So I started halfway through the year in a second grade classroom. And it was really important for me to build that community and be there for those students. And I'm excited to still be at that school.
So tell me about your classroom. What do you do that really engages the students and keeps them excited about learning?
I really want my students to have voice, choice, and ownership whenever possible and find ways for them to be excited and motivated to learn. So one way that I do that is through room transformations. So I'll go ahead and decorate the whole classroom to be a different theme or a different thing. We've done the Super Bowl, we've done Starbucks, Fractions, Pizzeria, all the fun things just to make learning joyful for the students. And I've also tried to promote choice as much as possible. I have boys in my class that are not fans of reading, but they love reading about soccer and they love reading about Messi. So finding ways that they can research that and really dive into that.
Yeah, how do you know you're getting through? Because I've heard teachers talk about that moment when they know the student really got it. So how do you feel that or see that in your kids?
I think for me, it's when they come up to me and they say, "I'm proud of myself," or the thing that I say in my classroom all the time is we can do hard things. And the fact that they've started saying that to themselves and to each other, I think that's their aha moment.
What helped you, do you think, maybe the most find a way to be successful in the classroom? Was there support, a mentor, school? What was it?
Through my STAR internship, I was really fortunate to have a mentor at FGCU, but also a mentor at my school who continued then as my Apples mentor. So I had a lot of support just to sound ideas off of and to ask questions. And they've really encouraged me to ask questions, look to see different teaching styles and different activities that I could do, but ultimately to trust my gut and to trust that the way that I'm teaching is impacting my students.
For you, what's the reward? What's the most rewarding part of what you're doing?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think just having students come back and say, you really made an impact, whether that be that they know that I care about them, or maybe they weren't excited about reading, and then they come back and say, you know what, I changed my idea. I put myself out there, I did a hard thing, and now I'm excited, having that joyful learning.
So I asked this question thinking of, people I've talked to, I could never be a teacher. I can't even control my own kids. How am I supposed to control 20? So what are those common misconceptions you think about leading a classroom that you could help others listening to this get over and really think about this as a career?
That's a good question. I think the biggest misconception that I've heard is that there's only one way or one style of being a good teacher. But when I look at my team, I look at the people in my school building, there are so many different backgrounds and experiences. We have career changers. We have people like myself who started in internship programs and followed the traditional way. But there's so many different experiences and personalities that make a good teacher.
So let me ask you this in a way. What didn't you know before you started that you think a possible teacher should know going in?
I think the power of adaptability and change. I've always been very type A, and I remember my first day in the classroom, I had a schedule broken down to the minute, and I said, this is how it's going to go. And I think within probably 3 minutes, that schedule got derailed. But finding ways to lean into that and to remember that they're just kids and making opportunities for them to have fun and enjoy this too.
And what would you say to encourage others to join you in the classroom?
I think just to take the leap. I'm a big believer that you're never fully 100% ready, but there are resources and there's so many opportunities in Lee County for you.
So as I listen to you, I can tell you enjoy it.
Yes, I love it.
Is it everything you thought it would be and more?
Yes, absolutely.
So definitely sign up if you're interested in being a teacher.
I love coming to work every day.
That's what you want. Madison, thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
And now I'm going to bring in the school district's Director of Talent Acquisition, Amanda Mason, and talk about the path to teaching. So thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here. Teacher recruiting for us really now has become a year-round effort when it used to not be that way. So what changed?
Yeah, there has been a lot of changes to the profession. I would say our number one reason for recruiting all year long is just the shortage in certified teachers. We no longer see the high number of graduates coming out of those teacher preparation programs. And thankfully, we've had more career changers than ever before who are willing to step up and fill those vacancies, but we have a shortage. Additionally, if you're in Lee County, you know the growth we've experienced. So the area growth is something we have to keep up with as well. With growth, you know, the student assignment office is busy putting more students into our building, which requires new teachers. Just last year, we opened 2 brand new buildings, and they had to be fully staffed. So there have been a lot of challenges. A lot of things have come our way that have made it to where we have to recruit all year round.
And not only do we recruit locally, it's a state, it's a national, we've even gone international.
Yes.
So what are some of the strategies that the district is using to bring teachers to Lee County?
Yeah, we have really put a lot of thought into our marketing strategies this past year. And so we have done targeted ads in other states on social media. We recruit nationally. So for example, we have a team going to Pennsylvania coming up very soon. So we are traveling around the nation, but one of the most exciting projects we've been a part of is our international teacher program. And so we have partnered with TPG Cultural Exchange, and through that program over the last 3 years, we've brought in 80 international teachers. We're expecting 40 more for the upcoming school year. So that's been a great help to us as well.
Yeah, so this is March, kind of that traditional time of the year when you're recruiting on a college campus and get that graduate to come work for us a few months after they pick up their degree. So what's coming up in that kind of effort, in that traditional recruiting?
Yeah, this is our busy time. And so the team will be headed out to FSW and FGCU, some of our local universities. Just last week, I was in Tampa at USF trying to get some teachers at one of their recruitment fairs. We had a team member in Seattle actually looking for school psychologists. Like I said, we have a team going to Pennsylvania. And so this is traditionally recruitment season for that pathway of graduates coming through teacher prep programs.
You know, there's another pathway, really. If you have a college degree,
That's
you
right.
can become a teacher. So if I'm even thinking just a little bit, I think I might want to teach.
Yeah.
You know, what do I do? What do I need to know?
Yeah, I think the first step is always certification. So in a public school system, we can't hire a teacher who's not certified by the state. So we will always direct people on that pathway first. Individuals with a bachelor's degree, you really have 2 pathways. Either your degree major in college is a direct pathway. For example, if you are a biology major, they're going to certify you to teach biology. But if you didn't have that direct path, you can take a subject area exam and demonstrate your proficiency to the state in that way. So I always point people to certification first. There is a path for anybody with a bachelor's degree.
And you don't have to do it alone. We're offering support.
Right.
We're offering help. Describe if you
Yes.
come to us and say, hey, I'm thinking about it. What can we do for them?
Yeah, we have an amazing team. Our credentialing specialists, they are the experts in certification, and so we would probably point you to a credentialing specialist first. They're going to dig into your transcripts and give you the most accurate information that they can. In terms of applying, they can help you also with the application process with the state. Sometimes that gets a little bit overwhelming, but we can walk you through the process. For those employees who are interested in moving into teaching roles, we have some opportunities to help with test prep, and we have been pointing people in those directions the last few months. So yeah, we are here to help. Our team is here to help. We're in the office Monday through Friday, so I always encourage people, if you have a question, reach out.
What does it take to be a teacher? What kind of candidate qualities are you looking for?
Yeah, I would say in a practical sense, you have to be certified and know the content knowledge. But the reality is we really need teachers who have a heart for the youth of our community. You have to have a passion for this work. You have to have the patience for this work. I think you have to be willing to be a lifelong learner. You have to be a part of a team. And I think you've got to be willing to stretch yourself and do what's best for kids.
What's the sales pitch? Why do I want to come work for the school district of Lee County, whether I'm here, say at Florida State or the University of Florida or up in Michigan? Why do I want to come here?
Yeah, and that's a great question because we have a lot of wonderful school districts in Florida. I personally have been with this school district since 2002. I can tell you we are a family. It's a great place to work. We take care of one another. We encourage professional learning and growth. And, the school district, we offer benefits, wonderful benefits for children and employees. And I think this is somewhere where people can put down roots and really have a wonderful career working with kids.
You touched on it real quick, but if my mind is now thinking a little bit even more, how do I get in touch with recruitment? You guys are here, obviously, but
Sure.
Website, events, that kind of thing. How's the easiest way?
We try to stay active in the community, and so when we advertise those events, we encourage people to come out, have a chat with us. You can reach our team by phone, email. We're in the office Monday through Friday, every day of the week. We also have open Zoom hours, so if you log into our website, you can connect with us on Zoom Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 to 11 a.m. But I always direct people to the careers website. It's kind of a one-stop shop, so that is leeschools.net/careers.
And let me just maybe try to make this clear, but we're in a sense hiring for two things. We need teachers right away, but you're also looking for teachers to start in August. So it's a twofold effort you're underway with right now.
It is. We certainly have positions for the current school year, and the need is great. And so if you're interested in starting right away, contact the office. If you're in the pathway of certification and you need some time to prepare and you maybe want to guest teach first, get in the classroom and kind of test it out, we'll be ready for you next year as well. I do want to highlight two events that are coming up. We have our April 26th in-person teacher recruitment fair. That's going to be an opportunity for people to come to our central office and connect with principals, hopefully land a job that day. But then we're also going to follow up with a virtual event on April 30th. And so that will be another opportunity for those individuals who are looking to next school year.
Got to mark those days down, the 26th and the 30th. Any last words of advice?
I would just say consider teaching. It is a wonderful profession. It's an honorable profession. And there's nothing greater than knowing that you're having an impact on the future of Lee County.
All right. Well, Amanda, thanks so much for joining us and kind of spelling out how you get in charge. And let's fill those spots in the classroom soon.
Yes, let's do it.
All right.
Thank you.
And we'll be back next month with another edition of the Lee Schools TV podcast.